Hi, everybody. It's been a little while since I've done something like this, one of these. The last time I think I did a video was in the thick of the pandemic and the restrictions and such before we made our move to the Christian school. And now, as we have been coming out of the last of the restrictions these past few months, I thought it'd be good to share some of the things I've noticed and have been reflecting on, as well as kind of what some of my hopes are, and as we look forward to the future, or near future anyways. First of all, I just want to acknowledge kind of the sad side, right? There are, as you know, a few families, of course, friends that no longer worship with us. Some because of differences with regards to COVID or mandates, and by the way, that's quite common. It happens in a lot of different churches. We're not the only ones where people have left because of that, and also just even closely connected to that, just like feeling disconnected, from the church or wanting something different. We're in this for quite a long time, and it impacts all of us in different ways. But also, by the way, just to let you know that Errol and I have met with each of these families or representatives from these families before they left, and just to see where they're at, and what's going on and where they're going and that sort of thing, and just sometimes able to also just pray with them or bless them. And some we are still in touch with, and plan to and hope to remain in touch with, as are some of you. And just because they no longer attend our church doesn't mean they no longer love us as a church, or that we don't love them. But in the end, reality is it's discouraging and it's sad, and we wish this didn't happen. But at the same time, hey, it's ultimately God's church, and these are God's people, and he leads them in different ways. But there's much to be encouraged about as well. I believe, in getting the feedback from some of you, the move to the Christian school meeting on Sunday morning has been a good change for us. We, for instance, have seen more visitors than we had for a long time when we were at the East Hill Church and meeting in the afternoon. New faces, people who have been coming back. And they come back and they come back. They like what they experience, what they're learning. They like you guys. And so I would just encourage you to connect with them. I know some of us it's easier than for others, but I encourage you, like, it's hard coming into a new church and you don't really know anybody. And the temptation might be, let somebody else make the connections, and I hope you don't do that. I hope instead that you yourself personally would initiate contact with some of these people, and at church or after church, maybe even inviting them over to your place, or getting together with them that afternoon, or during the week or something like that. Just kind of pulling them closer into our church body. One of the challenges, as we're all aware, during the COVID was connecting with one another in meaningful ways. Everybody being careful, or trying to be respectful of other people's comfort levels and safety and things like that. So some of the things just kind of went by the wayside, right? Like theology on tap, or prayer meetings, or ladies groups, and that sort of thing. And we did our best through Zoom and such, but that's not the same thing as being face to face with one another. And as we come out of the pandemic now, or in the restrictions at least, the challenge has been getting things going again, getting back into the groove, right? Finding ways in which we can have that in-person connection again. It's almost like it's like reworking a muscle that hasn't been exercised for a while, and for some of us that it takes a little while to get that going. And at the church, we got potlucks. We've missed those for the last couple of years, and they're going again, and that's great to have them going again. And now we're approaching summer, and it doesn't seem to make any sense to start anything formal, small groups or whatever. But what I would encourage again is let's be more intentional about gathering and connecting after church, or on Sundays and Sunday afternoons. That is, make a plan for it, to connect with somebody, with other families or other individuals. If you're going to the beach or a picnic or a hike or a walk, why don't you include other people in with that, or just saying, hey everybody, we're going to the rail trail today, or we're going to Kin Beach. Why don't we all, whoever wants to join us, let's get together. We don't have a social planning committee or coordinator to ensure that there's something going on, but we would encourage folks to take the initiative and invite others to do whatever they're doing. One of the great things about being at the Christian school is that we basically meet in a park. So why not plan for some picnics, even at the church, after church, or sports, right? There's all sorts of sports we could play after church as well. Why don't we plan for that throughout the summer months? In the fall, indeed, we hope to get another book club going, get the small groups going again, supper clubs going again. Looking forward to that. And then I also wanted to talk to you about attendance and being consistent in our attendance. There seems to be a common theme, another common theme among churches coming out of the pandemic and the restrictions, that people are just not as consistent as they used to be in attending Sunday worship. Some have gotten used to online church, or really we just doing other things with our Sundays when we used to go to church, and it's like we're no longer, a lot of people are no longer in the habit. And those that used to attend every week now come kind of every other week, and those who came every couple of weeks maybe come once a month, and those who came once a month, every once in a while. New folks have come in, and they've even told me this. They don't even know how many or who actually are part of the church. There are some folks who are new, who are actually more consistent, who have been more consistent in attendance these past few months than people who have been members for years, which is odd. And then it makes it challenging for us as shepherds, as we do a lot of our connecting, our catching up with folks on Sundays. And then it can be disheartening, again, for myself as a pastor, but I'm sure for others as well, when it's a Sunday and there's only a few families that are there, there's just kind of only a handful of people. That can be discouraging and disheartening, and yet really encouraging when there are many of us that are there. And so don't underestimate the importance of your presence, True enough, as we know, the New Testament commands us to gather in person regular, and part of that is for mutual encouragement. Don't underestimate how much you need to be encouraged, as well as how much you encourage others simply by being there, right? People hearing your voice when you sing and when you pray out loud, and as we learn together and take the supper together, and we're just being together, can be such a source of encouragement. And while live stream has been a blessing, enabling those who have had to isolate due to COVID, they're able to still tune in to our Sunday services, the intention, the blessing in that way, but the intention was never for it to become an alternative for attending in person. So it can be tempting. I get it. It can be tempting if you're tired or things are hectic at home, or if you're just not feeling in the mood to attend public worship, to stay home and tune in online instead. But I would ask that you treat online as the rare exception for not attending in person. For instance, when you are actually sick. Okay, all right. I would like to challenge and exhort all of you to make it your aim to attend every Sunday, unless you are not able to due to you're traveling, or you have to work, or again, because you're sick. We get that. And I can understand that it can also be challenging for parents with younger children, especially when we don't offer nursery or Sunday school. And right now we just don't have anybody to lead those ministries. And if you would like to help out with that, that would be fantastic. And please let me know. But in the meantime, you know what? Again, we'll do our best, and I'm speaking to myself here, to keep the services shorter, so that our children don't get too restless in the meantime. And then also, can I encourage you to come to church earlier than just right on time? Before church is a great time to connect with other people, just as after church is. And it also gives a way better first impression for visitors when most of the people are there when they arrive, rather than basically being the only ones there, other than, maybe the pastors, musicians, and sound person. So yeah, if I could just leave that with you, that'd be wonderful. Now I hear you asking the question, and Pastor Dave, how are you? And I say, well, thank you so much for asking. That's very nice of you. I'll consider it. Thank you. Like you, there are times when I am discouraged, and it's hard not to take some things personally, even though they weren't meant to be. I can second guess myself. I ask God what he's up to and what he's wanting from me, what he has for free grace. I wish, I wish I was more creative. I wish I was more, maybe energetic, or more wise, or more courageous, or whatever. I wish we as a church could offer things and ministries and such and programs that other churches can. But most days I am hopeful, and I am encouraged, and I recognize that there are things that are not under my control, and that my primary calling is to be faithful to what and who has been entrusted to me. I still love being your pastor. I want to see you and your family members flourish in your relationship with the Lord, with one another, and with others in the church, and to grow in the grace and knowledge of Christ. We are limited, true enough. I realize that we are limited in what we can offer due to our size at this point in time, but we have so many great people that I have full confidence that we can and will grow as we work together, and as we love each other well and pray for each other. I am still committed to the Great Commission, desiring to see the lost saved, and for free grace, and myself personally to be doing our part in reaching out, in being salt and light, in a witness in our city and in our community. Personally, I have been just stirred up more to pray, and I've been spending more time in prayer, praying for you, praying for your family, praying for the church, uh, praying for the lost, praying for the spread of the gospel here in our city, praying for the spread of the gospel throughout the world. And so as I close, I would just encourage you to be in prayer, be praying for myself and Errol and Jesse. For myself personally, what I'd really ask is that I would be, just like Paul was always asking for prayer for, I want to be bold, bold witness for Jesus, for open doors for the gospel, and that I be faithful to that. But pray for myself, pray for Errol, pray for Jesse, that we be diligent and faithful and wise and compassionate and good shepherds for those who have been entrusted to our care. Pray for free grace, pray for one another. Pray for mutual encouragement and unity and faithful witness and growth spiritually as well as numerically. All right, so that's all I wanted to say at this time, and thanks for taking time to listen and tune into this, and God bless you. I love you all, and look forward to seeing you soon. God bless you.